From the moderator to the candidates. First up, the Republican Donald Trump, who has fought his way through 11 primary debates with, at times, a very crowded stage, as you remember. Tonight is the first time he'll be on a stage with just one opponent. Trump has been studying briefing books, but the campaign says he has not been holding the typical mock debate sessions that candidates traditionally use. The businessman's charisma, including jokes and occasional insults, served him well in the Republican primaries, but the real question is, can it work on the main stage tonight? Where Trump has said if Clinton treated him with respect, he would do the same. For a preview, let's bring in New York Congressman, Republican Chris Collins, the first congressman to endorse Donald Trump. Well, Congressman.
Yeah, Brett, good to be with you.
What do you think, setting the table for tonight?
I think we're going to see President Trump show up tonight. He will be presidential. I think if someone is going to throw the first punch, it's going to have to be Hillary. I guess we all, on one hand, hope she does. We'll see what happens. On the other hand, let's stay on the issues. But Donald Trump contrasts his vision for America, the change agent, that people can imagine America working again, safe again, our inner cities safe, getting our economy going. You know, that's the Trump that's going to be speaking to the hearts and minds of America, making it a better America for our children and our grandchildren, and making America great again for all Americans. And then in that give and take, you'll see a contrast to the status quo candidate, Hillary Clinton, who said she'll be a third term of Barack Obama.
So he didn't do a lot of mock debates. Did he do any mock debates?
I don't know that he did any mock debates from the sense of Hillary over-preparing. He knows the issues. He knows what it's going to take to get America going. I think you can over-prepare, and I think Donald Trump's style is better to not be over-prepared. Hillary is one who has to prepare to the nth degree. I don't think that would serve Donald Trump well. He's very good on his feet. He's very quick to pivot. That's not Hillary's style.
You know, there's a lot of this preview, and obviously it's all going to come out in now under 3 hours. But if, as the Clinton folks say, she kind of plays it cool for the first part there, and she plays to the camera and says her vision for America and what she believes, eventually is that going to get to Donald Trump? I mean, is he going to want to kind of push back?
No, I think that would play into him. If she talks about her vision for the future, which is status quo, when 2/3 of the public knows the country's moving in the wrong direction, that's a softball pitch to Donald Trump to say, you know, Mrs. Clinton, the economy hasn't budged in 8 years. We're going to bring the jobs back stolen by Mexico and China. You know, we're going to have fundamental tax reform to get investment in this country, the private sector creating jobs. You want to tax the private businesses out of business. I mean, I think that contrast would play right into him at the policy level that's 2 levels deep, not 10 levels deep. But I think that would get a lot of heads nodding in America.
All right, I want to raise an issue that has not been raised that much, and that is talk about the national debt and the deficit. Neither one of these candidates talks about that much at all. You had former Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels put out a statement. He is the responsible federal budget co-chair. He said, we have a moral obligation to ensure we don't leave a mountain of debt to our children and grandchildren, crippling their economic future and calling into question the very credibility of our democratic decision-making. A fellow Republican there saying that your party's nominee needs to maybe say more about the debt and deficit.
Well, I think to me it's fairly simple in Donald Trump world and mine. If we get the economy growing at 4% a year, which Donald Trump talks about, after 8 years of 1.5% and not even 2% growth, it puts people back to work. It gets them off of the entitlement programs, gets them off of food stamps. And it's amazing what growth can do at 4% a year to bring revenue in at the same time cutting expenses. So that dynamic model will, in fact, working with Speaker Ryan, we'll get our budget balanced. And I'm confident we can do that. But we have to grow our way to success and balance. We can't continue to shrink our way.
Even though he doesn't talk about the debt side or the entitlement side that much on the train.
I think he's talked about, well, of course, the economy is going to grow. The entitlements are going to drop. That's almost and of course, as you grow your business and your margins and profits are there, and in this case, people drop off on the entitlement rolls, we'll fix ourselves.
Last thing, quickly, the politics. The polls are trending Donald Trump's way, both in the state polls and the national polls. But you have David Plouffe, who was on another cable channel, used to be obviously President Obama's campaign manager, saying this about the status of the race. Take a listen.
But none of these polls accurately do. Is to look at what a good campaign does is say you have a very good sense of who's likely to vote. My belief is Johnson and Stein's vote number will not be as high as it is right now. So when you look at that, getting Trump to a win number in Pennsylvania, whether that win number is 50, 49, or 48, I just think mathematically it's impossible.
Assuming?
Basically saying that the vote for the Libertarian and the Green Party candidate will go towards Clinton in the end, and you can't get there. It's impossible.
Well, the thing that Clinton doesn't have is any energy behind her campaign. The Trump people can't wait to vote, and so I think at the end of the day, that energy behind Donald Trump is something you can't poll, and I actually do think the millennials either stay home or they will be voting for Johnson and Stein. I think the momentum is with Trump. The energy is with Trump. Hillary's got a serious problem in trying to get people with any energy to turn out and vote for her.
Congressman Collins, we appreciate your time.
Brett, always good to be with you.